Ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a very active week of crazy weather. The Storm Prediction Center goes absolutely crazy with next week's risk here across areas of Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Mississippi, and Tennessee for severe weather on Wednesday, followed by an even larger threat all the way from the Gulf Coast up to areas of northern Ohio, stretching for Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, in Ohio. There will be tons of energy available across portions here of the regions, as followed by the strong winds here across the lower levels of the atmosphere and the mid levels, creating the probability for a few tornadoes being likely. Typically for thunderstorm formation, you want that instability values around 500 or above. For severe weather, typically 1,000 or higher. Now for this event, we have plenty and way more than enough that's needed in the values of 2,000 or higher. Could be possible. That is showing a very big probability for some nasty storms. Now these storms will likely be in the mode of a linear system, basically a long line of severe storms being possible. I'd have to say the damaging winds followed by that tornado probability does seem to be the main concerns. However, maybe a little bit of hail could be possible. And the reason I think this is because the very dry atmosphere that's presented by many different model supports. And now from a forecaster's perspective, this is a storm that nobody wants to mess with. And that's why we're here to make sure that you guys are staying safe and at least prepared for this system, so that way you know what's coming here. I would recommend knowing where to go in case of the worst case scenario happens. Now severe weather is not the only concern out of this system. There's a possibility of some very heavy winter weather across portions of the central and northern country. Now out of the first system, snow will mostly remain just for the areas here such as South Dakota, areas of Minnesota, and northeastern Nebraska. However, this next system could have more of an effect for areas here such as Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin, and into portions of Michigan. Looks quite possible. And there's even a little bit of support of maybe a bit of snowfall across the mid-Atlantic and the northeast regions on the backside of this cold front. Now the snowfall accumulations out of this first system to impact the north kind of seems to be at max in the range of around 3 to 5 inches. However, the secondary system, according to the blended models, could actually be delivering a little bit more, all the way from areas of Colorado up to areas of Wisconsin, possibly seeing 5 inches or more. Now, of course, the main models of the GFS really showing a lot more snow, maybe more 8 to 10 being possible. However, this is unfiltered and just is strictly one model's opinion. So let's just hold off on the snow accumulations as it's still pretty far out. On another note, areas here in the eastern and central country is expected to see well above average temperatures for later on this week, with the opposite being much more below average temperatures expected across the west. And most areas here across the country is expected to see more above average precipitation for this time of the year, with multiple storms being expected this week. And so that brings us to the rain accumulation of things. Well, take a look here over back at the blended models with this first system that's moving through. Wait, I forgot to mention the first system. Well, this storm is actively going across the southeast and the mid-Atlantic regions, driving a lot of rain and maybe even perhaps some snow towards those upper elevations of the Smoky Mountains and the Blue Ridge. All right, moving back now. So granted the accumulations out of all these systems is expected to drive its way through the country, we are expecting a lot of rainfall across the south, totally being up to maybe 1 to 2 inches, which might not sound like much, but definitely can lead to possible flooding. I will also say that out of these next few systems, a lot of heavy wind gusts could be possible. Some areas may be seeing over 40 to 50 miles per hour. And the last thing we should talk about is this potential big cool down. Now take a look here at the GFS model in regarding to what we can expect down in time. Obviously a big cool down is presented out of this big storm system that's expected to drive through, as a lot of cold air is backing from behind. Now typically how these systems work is you have an area of low pressure. That is basically the engine that starts spinning counterclockwise. A lot of warm and moisture filled air comes up from the Gulf of Mexico, fueling these storms with the moisture that's required for overall the system to work. A lot of cold air actually, as a result, comes down from the back side, from the north, as a result from that rotation that's occurring in the central low pressure. Basically, just a big mixing pot, mixing cold and warm air all together. But anyways, my friends, I think that's going to go ahead and wrap up the quick little update. We will be doing a live stream later on tonight, probably around 8 o'clock or so. So hope to see you guys there for a live forecast view to basically look over specific areas. If you will be interested in that, consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving a like if you guys did enjoy it. If you guys would like to support the channel, we do have our merchandise linked down below. Consider checking that out, my friends. Be greatly appreciated. All right, my friends. Well, so once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys here in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See you later.